What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Onney, the CEO, and I'm coming to you with another fire and inspirational segment. The woman that I have today has been bringing women together from all over the world to be more self-aware and to bask in self-love. So don't go nowhere. I need you guys to buckle up your seatbelts. You're now plugged in, tuned in, tapped in to Outside the Box. Not only is this woman a friend of mine, she is a friend to so many who hasn't even had the opportunity to meet her in person. That's just the type of woman she is. But before I introduce her, let's check her out. And you have it. So without further ado, I want you guys to give it up for Krys Smith.
Hey.
So thank you for coming to the show.
No, thank you for inviting me.
And
I'm
finally
excited.
sitting on the
Finally,
couch.
you've been trying to get me here for a long time,
For
friend.
a very long
So
time.
it's an honor. I'm excited to
Because
be
I
here.
think that the world needs to be introduced to Krys Smith.
Thank
You have been transparent and you have your human experiences right there for the world to see. And at the same time, you're making moves. So I'm excited to have you on the show
Thank you
today.
for having me. I'm excited
So
as well.
tell us a little bit about you, who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
I am from Fort Worth, Texas, funky town in the house, represent. Born and raised. I am a sibling. I have 4 other siblings. I'm the middle child, so you already know how that goes. But I founded a women's support group in 2008. It originated as Beauty for Ashes Ministries. And I started that group. I actually heard God tell me when I was going through my divorce, hey, it's a lot of other women going through these things. And when they're going through these things, the support you need, there's a lot of other women that need that support. And thankfully, I did have, a group of women around me, friends, cousins, my mom, that was helping me go through my divorce. And so I started the group inside of one of my coworkers' home. We got together and we started meeting once a month and just coming together, nothing rehearsed or nothing, no program or nothing, just coming together, women just having just dialogue and,
Talking
about real stuff that was going on. And then it kind of helped most of the women feel like, okay, I'm not in this by myself. I'm not the only one going through this. And so it kind of helped get rid of the shame and everything. So it started getting so big that I started having to do the events in like a hotel. And then I started the online community. I changed the name in 2018, I believe, to In a Room Full of Sisters. So I have a large community online. We have a lot of events of self-empowerment, self-awareness, self-love, and I'm a sisterhood advocate for sure.
So what was the inspiration behind you stepping out and creating a platform for other women like yourself to be transparent and open about whatever they're going through? Because we talk about narcissistic abuse, we talk about trauma bonding, we talk about everything in the group, and it gives women an outlet. So what was your inspiration behind being the mortar for
I often say that if you sit with any woman, it doesn't matter her age, her background, that within that 10 minutes, it's going to be, y'all going to have a conversation, y'all going to have some type of similarities or something that y'all went through, be it a mother, a wife, a sister. It's something that y'all can relate to. And I often say, you don't have to tell women your business and your, all your personal, secrets in order for women to come together and support one another. So again, I really genuinely believe in sisterhood. My mom, when I was young, would have events or parties for her friends, and my mom was super supportive of her friends. And her and my dad always instilled into me and my sisters and my brothers about loyalty. And I feel like a lot of women don't have that. And so I wanted to be like the poster child to say, hey man, you don't have to have a whole bunch of friends, but we need some sisters in our life when we going through hard life and real life things.
You don't have to suffer in silence.
You don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to suffer alone. I often say, yeah, it's cool to have them friends that you can hang out with in the good times. But to me, what's important and that holds weight is when I'm going through my worst, and I can have my sisters pick me up,
right?
You know, and pray for me when I don't have the strength to pray for myself, or be there when I don't even know what it is that I need. But just showing up and just being supportive.
Well, we got a quick clip from a room full of sisters. Let's check it out.
How you doing, everyone? This is Onney, the CEO, and I am with a room full of sisters. What sisterhood is, it is women coming together collectively to join forces to uplift each other. We inspire, we uplift, we motivate. That is what we do.
Sisterhood to me is knowing that you can count on the next woman to help you, to guide you whenever you need some assistance.
What sisterhood to me is holding each other accountable, to be able to lean on one another, believe in each other, and even to come together collectively, knowing that every gift that each other has is beneficial to our next level of life.
It's special because you don't have to be related to that person to form a bond. You can meet somebody and instantly that could be your sister.
I'm Krys, founder of In a Room Full of Sisters, and
You are welcome in the room!
I just have to say, like, I'm smiling so hard because we had so much fun that day. We did photo shoots and we had good food and, you know, we just loved on each other and it was just like fun and we danced and it was amazing. So being able to see that playback just now, how did that make you feel?
You know, it made me smile that God chose me to give me the vision, and he entrusted me with these women's lives and their souls. So I feel honored that God chose me to be the advocate and the curator and the founder of this group.
That's amazing. So you also have 2 journals out, and you released, the first one was First Let Me Pour Into Myself, a self-love journal. When did you get to the point where you started journaling? And then after that, I want to know what inspired you to share that journal with everyone else.
I started journaling in about 2012, I remember, because I was very angry. And, you know, I got divorced in 2010, and I was angry, was frustrated. And so I was online on social media, which I think social media is amazing if you use it the right way. And it was a therapist online, I can't remember who it was, and they talked about journaling out your feelings. You know, sometimes when you don't know why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, to sometimes just get a journal and just start scripting and just start writing. And so once I started doing that, it's like the tears start flowing. I started realizing like I was hurt, dealing with some childhood trauma, some stuff with my dad, and I hadn't all the way got over my divorce. And so start journaling and stuff, and then the I am affirmation started coming in, you know, trying to kill the negativity that had been spoken over my life and speaking life back into myself and starting to believe it. So that's why I started doing the affirmations and stuff. Well, that's where the journal came from.
Right. So ladies, those that are out there, not just even women, I just think that if it's a journal, everyone can reflect from it. So, you know, go check it out and start using those exercises to help find yourself first, because you can't really be a full cup for anyone else when your cup is empty.
That's right.
And sometimes we find ourselves pouring into empty people or people with holes at the bottom. Yeah. That's what I say. I would put my pearls in a basket with a hole at the bottom. So when I go back to retrieve the pearl, it's gone. And so you have to be careful with the energy that you give out, and you want to make sure that you recharge and become the woman that you need, the
I don't
person
even
that
say,
you need to be.
even now at my about to be 40, I say don't even give from your cup, give the overflow. Because if you give in from your cup, you still going to be in deficit. And in order for us to completely, fully show up whole, you can't be in deficit. So I say all the time, don't give from your cup, give from the overflow that's coming from that cup, honey.
That's deep. that is
yeah,
deep.
because in reality, like,
because you're still going to be lacking something.
You're
if
still
you take
lacking.
From what you
Exactly.
have,
So if
the
you're
overflow.
consistently pouring into yourself the affirmations, doing mirror affirmations, you know, if you have a relationship with God, whatever your spirituality is, meditating, if you're constantly and consistently doing that, you're overflowing. And so the people that you are assigned to, because sometimes that's what we do, we'll attach ourselves to people we're not even assigned to, which is why we drained anyways. But when you attach yourself to or when you align with the people that you are assigned to, then like I said, you'll be able to give them the overflow, and then you still can, you know, walk away and still be whole.
But I will tell you one of the revelations that I had this week.
Okay.
Because I'm stretched in a million directions. But if it feels forced, it's not in alignment.
That's good. That's good.
And that's with anything.
Yeah.
It's with, if you feel like you hate going to work, your back don't start hurting until you get to work. You're not in alignment. You're not fulfilling your purpose.
That's right.
If you with a group of males or females and something just don't feel right, but you go anyway, you're not in alignment. Those feelings of being uncomfortable is a reminder that you're forcing it. And if you have to force it,
it's not for you. That's good. Yeah. That's real good.
You know, and so for me, if I'm passionate about it and it makes me feel good, it's not work.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we can find outlets and ways to find things that give us a fruitful life, doing things that we actually
enjoy
love.
doing. Yeah. Because I wouldn't say, you know how many times I done quit the sisterhood, the inner room full of sisters, like I can't do it no more. But when you got a call in your life and that's what you would put on this earth to do, it's not going to be easy, because it's anything that's bringing light into darkness and breaking generational curses, there's going to be a fight against it.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
It is.
And so, yeah, how many times I done tried to quit?
And not only that, when you try to be a voice of inspiration,
yes,
you also open up your life for attack.
Yes.
It's just like being a pastor of a church. If you're a pastor of a church, everyone is watching you to be a leader, and they're not giving you room to have a human experience.
Exactly.
You know, and so when you're on a platform and you're enlightening and instructing and a self-help coach, people tend to come for you more because they don't give you the grace to have a human experience.
Which is why you give yourself grace.
That's right.
Which is why you don't let people take from your cup and you give them overflow. Because in those moments when that does happen, you'll have that assurance that, hey, I'm not here for you. I'm here for a purpose. And as long as if God be for me, who in the world could be against me? So you got to get that confidence. I call it getting delivered from people. Once you get to that place in your life to where, not necessarily that people's opinions don't matter, because, you know, sometimes I do feel like we should take into account some of the people that we love.
Actually, I introduced the first. Is that
this is first let me pour into myself.
That's what we were talking about.
I bought you one.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Hey, this for me.
It's for you, girl.
So I want you guys to go. I have my journal. You guys go get yours. We're gonna bring up the Amazon one more time for first. Let me pour into myself. Yes, you guys go and get it. Now we're going to talk about your other journal that you had.
Yeah.
Your 21, it was what's in your mirror. It was a 21-day challenge.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with that?
So what's in your mirror is basically a 20. It takes you 21 days to break a habit, or 21 days to start a habit. So I chose 21, and I don't call it a journal. I call it a journey. Because I believe that self-love is a journey. Healing is a journey. I don't believe we'll ever be completely healed or completely self-aware. We're always unfolding and evolving. And so
it's an act in progress.
Yeah.
It's to be continued, because healing is an everyday process.
It is.
You know, we still healing, and then anytime you get triggered by something, that is a sign that that's an area you still need to heal in.
That's right.
And some things, it's just the reality of it all is some things will forever trigger us,
Yeah.
but we need help and assistance in how to get through those moments
Mm-hmm.
where we're triggered.
Correct.
You know, it's just
Correct.
like a loss of a loved one.
Mhm.
There's no solution for that.
It's not.
But I still need to be able to navigate
Right.
through those moments
Right.
where I'm vulnerable.
Right.
In those.
Right. And so that's what the journal comes from, is mirror work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I often say when we get in front of the mirror, you know, we do our day-to-day, brush our teeth, wash our face, make sure, you know, everything is together, but we don't actually take the time out to interact with ourselves and look yourself in the mirror and look yourself in the eyes. And once you get in front of the mirror, I have a lot of affirmations in there that you speak to yourself. You tell yourself, I love you. You know, you fill yourself up with those things that I feel like a lot of times as women, we pull and we reach for external instead of it being internal. And so that's what that journal is about, or that journey is about, is loving yourself, you know, and being whole enough to where you don't look for it outside. And then when people see you, they see that love.
Yeah.
You know, they see that light
You know,
because
I
you're
always
working
say
on yourself.
that inner confidence is sexy by itself. You know, it's attractive by itself.
Right.
People want that light. They want to know, man, you know, it's something about you.
Yes.
And it's really that inner love and confidence, because when you have that, you also have healthy boundaries.
That's right.
And
That's right.
so the more you love yourself, it's like, let's just take a sidebar. Women in dating.
Yeah.
You ever healed from something and went through a self-love journey, and suddenly what you were once attracted to is no longer
attractive.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't do it. Even even in my dating journey, I've been dating. Dating sucks. There's pee in the pool, the pond. But I trust and believe that God is going to bless me with someone, and
He will definitely give you your kingdom spouse.
He is.
Yes.
But I had to be worthy, not worthy for another man, but worthy for myself. And then once I start realizing what I wanted, what I deserved, then I'm like, okay, now that I know what I want and what I deserve, I can get it to myself now. I'm not looking for anybody to give it to me. And so now I establish what respect is for me. And I tell a guy anyway, this is any guy, this is how I want things. This is what I want. If you can't give that to me, that doesn't diminish my value or yours. It's just that you just don't align with my purpose and you move forward.
So what was your aha moment when you decided to take that journey? Because I heard you say earlier in the show, you know, you were angry. You know, like, what was the moment where you decided, I'm going to do something different?
I was in a very toxic, abusive relationship with an ex. And although it was toxic and it was abusive, it was also the best thing that ever happened to me, because it was something in him that God put in him at that moment to, you know how sometimes we can date people that's a mirror of us? And so that toxicity that he had, that I just was like, oh my God, you know, sometimes we can be the victim. You know, black women, we sometimes have egos. He was me, I was him. And so we had a conversation, and just a deep conversation one time, and I was like, he was like, I don't think you like men. I think you want to be in a relationship, but I don't think you like men. And he said, I really think it's got some stuff to do with your daddy. And when he said that, it like you said, that was an aha moment, because it hurt me to hear him say that. And I know it was that little girl that was inside of me saying, that's it. It's time for you to save and rescue me, instead of you saving everybody else. And at that time, I had my mentor program, Beautiful, you know, Beauty Ambitious Me. And so the aha moment was, you know, I say sometimes we have to go backwards in order to move forward. And so my dad got sick. Right when we had, it's just a line, right? When him and I had that conversation, he was like, I think you need to go back and fix that with your dad. He got sick, and I had to take care of my dad 5 years before he passed. And in that process of me taking care of him, I was able to forgive him. I was able to see some of the things that he did and why he did it, because he was abusive and all that. And so the grace that God had for me and all my mistakes is the same grace and love that I was able to give my dad. And so I was able to forgive him. And by the time he died, my daddy was my best friend. Yeah. So that was my aha moment, going back and dealing with my daddy issues before I could properly love a man. Because I tell anybody, my heart was broken before a little boy could even step in. Right. Because of the first man that was in my life.
That is the backstory for a lot of black women, especially if we grew up in single parent households. You know, the first man that ever broke our heart was our dad.
And so none of the men really had it's nothing that even my ex-husband, and I tell anybody, he was a good man. It was nothing he was going to ever do to make me happy. I mean, nothing until I loved myself. I couldn't love him because I didn't love myself.
That's deep.
Mm-hmm.
That's deep. Now, what advice can you give others that may be going through a dark moment, or maybe suffering from depression? Because we don't have those conversations enough.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
I would say therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Therapy has played a huge part in me transitioning into being a better me.
Mm-hmm.
Therapy, spirituality. You know, some people are religious, some people are spiritual. I really believe in connecting with your higher power and praying and meditating really helps. Really surrounding yourself around other women that are full of life and full of love and full of wisdom, which again goes back to the sisterhood, because sometimes you need that listening ear, or you need someone to say, sis, you're not in this by yourself. I got you. I've been here. Let me tell you how I got past this. You know, just hearing it, and somebody that's in the same, you know, area as you, that'll help. What else?
Or they could suggest YouTube videos for you to watch.
Yes.
Because I remember going through a divorce, and it had broke me. And I felt like I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have anyone that I could really confide in, that I didn't think would gossip about it or say I told you so. And so I kind of quietly just
you suffer in silence.
Right.
You suffer in silence.
And I even stayed away from social media because I didn't want people asking, well, how your husband doing?
Right,
you know?
right.
I just didn't want any little thing about relationships would trigger me. And I stayed single for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
You know, and the first 2 years was more about healing. The second 2 years was more because I had better boundaries.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't want to find the same person in a different body bag. Right. You know, because of course my taste in men changed.
Yeah. But you know what I learned too, in that you still attract those same type of men.
Yes.
And a lot of people say, oh, if you're attracting those kind of men, then you're not healed. I'm like, no, your light is gonna attract them. You just don't entertain them, and you are able to identify those red flags quicker. You know, like, oh no, like that remind me of, you know, those trauma bonds that you had back in the day. You don't need them no more because you have healed those areas of your life. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need a man to be possessive over me because that's not love. I understand that that's toxic. And so if you calling my phone back to back, seeing where I'm at, telling me, girl, don't make me hurt you, like those types of things.
Those are signs.
Those are signs of an abusive guy, be it verbally or physically. That's a
it does
narcissist.
escalate.
Exactly. Or you don't need a man to love bomb you.
No.
You know, like, you don't even know me to be telling me you love me in 2 days. Like, you're crazy. You know, so when you're not desperate for love, like I said, when you fill your cup with things of God, and you fill your cup of things that of meditating and those affirmations, you're not looking for that outside stuff, because you feel like I'm whole. And I always say, honey, I ain't met nobody, I have not met a man that will make me give up my singlehood yet, because I'm so confident God has lovingly taken care of me, like literally. And so whoever comes in my life cannot be a liability. They got to be an asset.
Correct.
Got to add to me.
And that was where I was when I, stayed single for so long. It was more like, I'm not going to just give my singleness away to anyone, because that still is a different level of freedom.
It is.
It is.
It is.
Because you don't have no one else to consider but yourself. And I know that sounds selfish, but relationships are work.
Here's the thing with women. Men are selfish. I often say, if a man has a preference with a woman, be it if he don't date BBWs, or if he don't like a woman that wear weave or makeup, long hair, short hair, light skin, brown skin, big booty, no booty, athletic build, those men don't waver from those standards. Period. And if you talk to men, they'll tell you they don't waver. If they got a certain thing that they want in a woman, like you got to know how to cook, they're not wavering from that. But as women, when we start getting older, you know, I don't know, I guess it's society will make us feel like those non-negotiables that we have, somebody will in society will make you think that now you got to start dimming, coming down on them non-negotiables because it ain't a lot of good men in the world. And then what we'll start settling, and then we'll end up unhappy anyways. Listen, I'd rather be happy and healed and not even alone, honey, because I always say we think love is just for a significant other. I have love in so many areas in my life. My friends, my family. I love what I do with my organization. I love what I do when I go shop. There's people limit love, which is why I feel like we are loveless, because we limit love to a spouse and to a relationship. But when you start looking at like, oh man, I can love to travel. You know, you can go visit different countries. Yes. And so when you feel your life, a man has to come in and
add to it.
You know what I'm saying? What can, and it's not always just about finances, but what can you do to make me a better woman? Because I already know what I can do to make you a better man. Because again, the Bible says a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. So I already know who I am. But what can you bring to the table?
And also, they say a good woman is an investment.
It is.
And that's and good woman is not a broad spectrum.
Correct.
You have to find a woman who's innovative.
Okay.
Who knows how to go out there and create. When a man invests into a woman, a good woman, she enhances whatever that investment
whatever
is.
He is, honey.
If he give her a house, she make it a home.
That's
if he give her some chicken, she gonna make a meal.
That's right.
If he give her, it's just like a Keisha Kaur. Her husband, I think left her, what was it, $1 million?
And he came back and was like 20 plus.
It was like, I know it was over $10 million when he came home. Yeah. He left her $1 million.
Yep.
When he came home, she had made 10.
That's good.
That's a good woman. So understanding, it's not always about monetary. Whether you invest in time, energy into someone, you want to make sure you're pouring into a cup that's valuable as well. And so many men also don't realize their own value. A lot of people, we acknowledge the value that women don't place, but it's a lot of men that are not valuing themselves.
That's right.
And they wear it like a badge of honor.
That's real.
But your seed is important.
It is.
That's why there's woke men doing semen retention and stuff like that, so they kind of get away from the smoke and mirrors that come with the blindness of sexual contact.
It's a trap.
It is. It can be. And then
because you're giving of yourself, to so many people, and when you're laying down, you're making a deposit and or a withdrawal. And so if you're depositing yourself all over the place, that's why you all over the place. That's why you double-minded. That's why you can't get yourself aligned in your purpose as a man
or a woman,
because you spreading yourself thin. So you're right.
Yeah, so I'm glad that I had a chance to talk to you a little bit more, and that everybody know, like, that's watching, what you're doing, the type of conversations we have. We have real in-depth conversations. Get your journals. I have one of mine. I'm going to get the other one again. Let Me Pour Into Myself by Krys Smith. And also, I want to thank you for coming. And for those that have been watching, following the show, tell us where we can find you. You have your own Instagram page. I am Krys Smith.
That's KRYSSMITH. Follow me. My slogan is, I help women find the why in worthy. Why are you worthy?
And for those women that want to join a group, In a Room Full of Sisters, you can also follow that Instagram page. In a Room Full of Sisters, spelled with an H. S at the end. So make sure you hit that follow button. Please. There's also, for our Facebookers, there's a Facebook group. I'm a part of the group. Join the group. Come be a part of the conversation. Make sure you hit that add button there. And if you want to get to know Krys Smith personally, or you have any questions about the group, you can also follow her on her Facebook page, Krys Smith, there as well. And if you want some most inspiring merchandise, she also have her own website. I want you guys to go to the KrysSmith.com website. I definitely bought the Heavy on the Self-Love mug. It reminds me every day when I go into the office, show up as the best version of myself,
Yes.
but make sure that I stay heavy
That's
on the
good.
self-love.
Yes.
You know, so I want to thank you again.
Thank you, friend. So
for
much
coming on the show.
Finally,
I love you.
I'm so proud of you. I love you too. I'm so
Thank
proud
you.
of
And I'm
everything that
proud
you're doing.
of you.
I
You
am.
guys stay plugged in, tuned in, tapped in, because I have a feeling we'll be bringing you guys some events
Yes,
together.
yes,
Yes.
most definitely. Yes.
So we'll see you same time, same place next week.
Thank
I'm
you.
your host, Onney, the CEO, and you're plugged in, tuned in, tapped in to Outside the Box.